All right. CJ.
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
All right, perfect.
All right, so how are you doing today?
Doing great. Gotta love technology. I'm Skyping live from Dodge Stadium right here in our conference room at the ballpark.
Very cool. So, talk to me a little bit about the Connecticut Tigers and what they bring to the New York Penn League.
Well, this is our fourth year here in Dodge Stadium in Norwich, Connecticut. Our franchise was relocated from Oneonta, New York, which was there really since 1966. So we've been in the Penn League for a number of years, and we're just really happy to be here in Norwich. We're at a beautiful ballpark in Dodge Stadium. And yeah, the Penn League is just a great league. It's comprised of 14 teams, obviously all affiliated baseball. We'll travel as far west as Niles, Ohio, where we'll face the Cleveland Indians affiliate, Mahoning Valley Scrappers. We'll travel as far south as Aberdeen, Maryland, where we'll play Cal Ripken's team, the Aberdeen Ironbirds, which obviously they're affiliated with Baltimore. We'll go as far north as actually my old ball club in Burlington, Vermont, the Vermont Lake Monsters, which are with the Oakland A's. And then we'll also head up to Lowell, Massachusetts. So this year we'll bust about 5,000 miles. We play the Yankees, the Mets, the Phillies, the Red Sox, the Marlins, the Astros. So it's just a great level of baseball. We get a lot of first-round guys. They get drafted out of the Major League Baseball draft and start their careers at this level.
Very cool. That's actually, so it's actually grown considerably from just New York and Pennsylvania. Because I was reading up, and it was actually originally known as the Pennsylvania, Ohio, New York, or Ontario, New York, the Pony League.
The Pony League.
Yeah, so it's grown considerably.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. There was teams in St. Catharines, Ontario. There was teams in Watertown, New York, Ithaca, Utica. Really, a lot of small towns in really upstate New York. And with minor league baseball really getting very popular in the early to mid '90s, what ended up happening is a lot of the larger towns and cities wanted to really have minor league baseball because it's really affordable, quality entertainment for families. And so what ended up happening is the smaller towns, unfortunately, ended up losing out because they didn't have the funding to build brand new ballparks. And minor league baseball nowadays, fans expect a lot of great amenities and everything from skyboxes to video boards to outstanding concession options. And so it's just really tough to compete when you have a facility that might have been built in the 1920s or 30s.
Yeah, no, I completely hear you on that. I remember when the New Haven Ravens were playing at Yale Field, and that stadium, obviously being close to 100 years old, was nothing compared to what some of the newer stadiums are. And Dodge Stadium is on the newer side. It was erected in the late 90s, I believe, or maybe early 2000s.
Yeah, it was built in 1995 for the Double-A New York Yankees at the time. The Yankees were here for a while until about the early 2000s, and the San Francisco Giants came in. And then we got in here actually on April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2010. And it's a great ballpark, and there's some unreal facilities here in the Penn League. Great facilities that can seat 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 fans. And then you have the smaller facilities like in Auburn, New York, and Batavia, New York, where there are about 2,000 seats, 3,000 seats. And then at my old ball club, Centennial Field in Burlington, is actually the oldest ballpark in minor league baseball. The field itself was built in 1906, so a lot of history, and so it's kind of neat to have players come here and see Dodge Stadium, and then maybe the next homestand or next road trip they go on is to Centennial, so which has a lot of history in itself.
Very, very cool. So let me ask you, how did I know the Tigers obviously are the short season single A affiliate of the Detroit Tigers? How do you guys get your players? Is it because I know you guys start in June? Is it pretty much when guys are drafted, they come to your team automatically?
Yeah, what'll end up happening is we'll get the majority of our players out of the Major League Baseball draft, which happens in the early part of June. We have about a week and a half or so to kind of sign them, and then they get shipped up here. And when they get shipped up here, our guys practice for only 3 days, and then they start their season. And we play 76 games in 80 days, so it's a lot of baseball. Right around late July, you'll see a lot of the guys going to DL because their bodies aren't used to playing so much baseball. And the guys that are playing at this level, are the best of the best. They're coming out of the College World Series a lot of times, and so they could be late signs, and then they join our team. And so we're getting the majority of our players out of the draft. the younger guys that will get drafted, the ones who are out of high school, those usually head down to the Gulf Coast League Tigers down in Lakeland, where they'll play down there and get seasoned for about a year or so. And then once they're ready to advance, they'll come up and join us here in Connecticut. And then throughout the course of the season, there'll be a ton of transactions of players moving back and forth, up and down. Some guys getting released, some guys retiring because they're just not good enough, and they're trying to make it up to the majors.
Well, yeah. So definitely 76 games in 80 days. That's definitely a lot of baseball, and you got to give it to these guys because they are coming straight out of college and they're not used to a major league schedule. Especially, this is similar to not even a major league schedule because even the majors get days off. But I did want to bring up that the Dodge Stadium this year in August will be hosting the New York Penn League All-Star Game this year. So tell me a little bit about the kind of festivities that you guys have planned for that.
Sure, yeah, the All-Star Game itself is going to take place on Tuesday, August 13th. It's actually going to be the third time an All-Star Game has actually taken place at this facility, but it'll be our first time hosting an All-Star Game, or New York Penn League one, taking place here in Dodd. And it's just going to be the best of the best. I mean, it's the best top prospects that really the teams have to offer, and they'll be here competing against each other. The place will be sold out. We'll have over 7,000 people here. We've already sold over 700 tickets for it, so the demand is definitely there. We have everything from home run derbies to great food around. We'll have fan fests. We'll have big luncheons and galas the day before, and that's the kind of the fun stuff that we get to plan as an organization and really kind of showcase Dodge Stadium and really what the community has to offer. So the players will arrive usually Monday morning, and then we'll have them going really all the way until after the game on Tuesday night. So there'll be a pregame party, a postgame party, all sorts of live music, and it's just a great way to really reward our fans and really showcase to Connecticut and people in the region that we have great baseball right here at Dodge Stadium.
That is actually that's very awesome. So tell me a little bit about the Tigers and their main rivalries in New York Penn League, if they have any, and who you think might be a challenge for them coming up this year.
Yeah, great question. We actually kind of view ourselves almost as Switzerland because we're in Red Sox and also kind of Yankees territory, and so with us being an American League team and affiliate with Detroit, we really kind of position ourselves nicely. So our travel partner happens to be the Lowell Spinners, which are the Boston Red Sox affiliate in Lowell, Massachusetts. So we play those guys the most, and then we also see the Yankees come up here a couple times, and we go down there to face those guys. So I would say really our rivals are the Lowell Spinners, which are the Red Sox, and Staten Island Yankees in Staten Island. And then also in our division we have the Vermont Lake Monsters, which are the A's. And then we also have the Tri-City Valley Cats, which are the Astros. So, we play a lot of those guys inside our division on a regular basis. So it kind of creates a natural rivalry. With us in Lowell, we're only about 99 miles away from each other, so it's a pretty short trip. And so we always compete against those guys on the field, and even sometimes we even have our front offices compete against each other. So it's a fun rivalry.
That's very encouraging to hear, and it's true that being an American League associated team and being in Connecticut, you are right between Boston and New York, so you must see that rivalry a lot in the fans. Is there any way that you build off that?
Yeah, we actually have mini plans and mini packages that we actually have on sale for fans. So if you're a big Sox fan, we actually have a Sox pack, which gives you tickets to every game that we're playing the Lowell Spinners here at Dodge Stadium. We do a thing called the Big Apple Pack, which is tickets to see the Brooklyn Cyclones, which are owned and operated by the New York Mets, and also the Staten Island Yankees. And so that's the Big Apple Pack. So it really, you do see an increase in attendance when the Red Sox are in town or when the Yankees are in town, a little bit with the Mets and a little bit with the Phillies. So it's just a great way for us to kind of offer and showcase our product to the fan base. Even though they might be fans of the Major League club, we're definitely having a lot of support here for the Tigers as well.
Great. So last year you guys came in third place and you guys finished 35-40. What kind of improvement? Do you get a chance to see any kind of improvement you might be making this year especially with you not knowing your roster until 3 days before the season.
Yeah, it's really tough. It's basically a crapshoot. I mean, every team in the league is in basically the same position. So you really don't know what your roster is going to really start to look like until you start seeing flight itineraries, and that's how you kind of base your roster. Then these guys come here, and then 3 days later, they're starting their season. So it usually takes about a week and a half, 2 weeks to kind of figure out what kind of squad you're going to have. And we do pick up some guys from last year's club. There'll be a handful of guys, about 4 or 5, that'll come up from extended spring training to help us out. And so we're really trying to go for, or Detroit seems to go for a lot of college-age players, which is great. They tend to be a little stronger, a little more honed in their skills at this level, as opposed to waiting for them to develop and mature a little bit. But I think we've been really close the past few years here. I think in 2012 it came down to one of our last games of the year. So it's just one of those things where the team's always pretty competitive on the field, and at this level the big difference is pitching. If you have good quality pitching, sometimes the guys that are just new to professional baseball, they're trying to get used to hitting with wood bats instead.
Yeah, very very cool. All right, so talk to me a little bit about. Talk to me a little bit about the history of the Tigers. I know you said you come from, I don't want to get the name of the city wrong, but Oneonta, New York.
Yep.
And talk to me a little bit about the history of the Tigers organization. I know you said that they come over from Oneonta, and they've been the Tigers since '99, I believe, correct?
Since '99, yeah. And we played in a small stadium called Damasky Field. It was built, I believe, in the 30s or so, and it used to be an affiliate for the New York Yankees for years. And then, then in 1999, right around '98 is when the Yankees to Staten Island, and they built a brand new ballpark right in the borough of Staten Island, right next to the Staten Island Ferry, which is an outstanding facility. And so that's when it was kind of time where the Yankees wanted to have their kind of their baby bombers a little closer to home. And so that's when the Detroit Tigers decided to head into Oneonta. And that's when they became an affiliate of the Oneonta Tigers in 1999. And we have a great relationship with Detroit. They have great coaching staffs, great people in the front office, good quality players in the field. And they too have a great storied past in terms of baseball. So, so I think, we really, it's a great affiliate for us, especially being here in Connecticut. So, and, the Oneonta is a beautiful town. It's right outside of Cooperstown, New York. So they do love their baseball.
Great. All right. Well, we're having a great interview with CJ Knudsen, the general manager of the Connecticut Tigers, and we're actually going to take a break right now. When we get back, CJ will still be with us, and we will continue the interview right after the break.